So this is the normal baseline activity and noise level for this corner on any given weekday. There's a piece of psycho trash directly across the street in one of those windows, deliberately blasting his TV documentaries. I'm assuming it's the perving, creeping pervert pig DaCosta, who up until recently was engaging in this exact identical pattern of disruptive harassment and aggression from the unit next to mine, Unit 88. Mr. DaCosta's behavior towards me was so egregious, dysfunctional, and psychotic that he was moved across the street, not by the Greenville group, but by law enforcement. However, in spite of that ugly, fat, stinking pedophile pig's deliberate noise-making right now, the rest of this corner is very quiet. That's because the activist group that is being sponsored by the Greenville group in that building right there have been shut down from their street noise-making and deliberate disruptive activities on this stretch of sidewalk that have been occurring on a daily basis for over 10 days now. They're called BLM. I think that they're an embarrassment to BLM. I don't even know if BLM is that disgusting, psychotic, and rejected as the low-life scum in this building. They claim to be BLM, but they might just be like a radical offshoot of BLM. I don't know. All I know is that for the last 10 days, the psycho pigs, pedophile scum in that building have been camping out on the street corner right here and engaging in some very loud, constant, aggressive, disruptive harassment of the entire neighborhood on an hourly basis that goes on for days. But today they're not there. See, it's very quiet down there. I don't see any perving, creeping, screaming, shouting, pedophile psycho pigs standing out on the sidewalk right now. This is good. I think law enforcement finally got involved and told the Greenville group to clean up the psycho trash that keep littering the sidewalk directly across from this part of the building on that sidewalk right there. So it's between those two doors. They literally scream and shout out on the street corner for hours while claiming that I am the one harassing them. Huh, that's weird. My windows are always closed and my shades are down. So who's harassing who? Psycho trash. You fucking rejects. You're so disturbed. You spend your entire wasted reject lives standing on a sidewalk on a busy street, screaming and shouting, blasting music and revving motorcycle engines for an hour at a time because you have tiny little penises and you will never ever have a functional life as long as you live because you're nothing but rejected, hate-stalking, psycho thug trash who can't leave women alone. These stupid pieces of shit think that I owe them something. They think that I owe them something because their sponsor and friend, the property management team here at the Greenville Group, starting with Mr. Oleg Alexeyev, but also other members of that team, have been informing the pedophile sex offender scum that they rent to in large numbers that I am a hooker. So these psycho rejects who are completely delusional and too stupid to think critically think that because I have been labeled as a hooker, that's funny, by the sociopath property manager of this building, that I must really be a hooker. And then they behave in a very aggressive, intrusive, stalkery manner towards me everywhere I go in this building complex because they think that I owe them something. So the stupid is on them, and shit never wins. And the stupid is on them, and shit never wins. So what they do is they scream and shout for hours out on that street corner and get absolutely nothing in return. In the meantime, I'm contentedly living my life up here in my little tower with the windows closed and the shades down, and my little small phone, playing some soft jazz music while I send emails, put in applications, communicate with friends, family, and professional contacts, and live my life. I will never have anything to do with these rejects because they're sex offender psycho trash. They're child molesting pedophiles. Just take a look at their police records, and I'm going to give names: Charles Thomas, Juana Rodriguez, Eduardo Hurtado, Jasmine Irizarry, Mark Collins, Jason DaCosta, Robert McLean, also known as Swayze, Michael Collins, and the lady down the hall named Fanny Matches, the one who has told me several times, quote, "Everybody can see what you do in there." She meant my apartment. I don't think she was trying to be nice. I think she was kind of bragging that all the hate stalking rejects in this building literally perv and creep all over what I do in this unit, even though it has nothing to do with them and it will never have anything to do with them, which is sad. The joke is on them. These pathetic rejects who claim to be, quote, activists are perving and creeping and hate stalking women whose existence will never intersect with theirs in any way. Hijacking people doesn't count, psycho trash. You can stalk people until you're blue in the face, and you will never actually know them. You will never hang out with them. You will never do lunch with them. You will never have a fun sleepover party with them. Do you get what I'm saying? Rejects, stay in your own lanes. Pedophile scum, get out of my face, get a life, and leave mine alone. In the meantime, it's very nice and quiet today, and I'm just recording the beauty of the silence in this corner that is like the first in over 10 days. The Greenville Group are not a legitimate landlord. They are a deliberate criminal Russian slumlord that is using this building complex as some sort of a money laundering front, and that's a fact. That's a fact. That's why there hasn't been any warm water to not just my taps, but any of the taps in this building for 7 days now. What legitimate real estate company refuses to provide warm water to an entire building or an entire floor for 7 consecutive days? Well, none of them, right? If you're a legitimate real estate company, you fix things as soon as they break down. You don't wait 7 days, sit on your hands, stick your thumbs up your ass and do nothing, which is exactly what keeps happening. I'm running the water right now and it is ice cold. Not because I'm running it, but because there has been no warm water from that tap in 7 consecutive days now. 7 consecutive days. There's also no heat in here, and it gets down to the 40s at night, even though we are in the middle of May. We are now May 14th. Today is Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. It's right around 2:15 p.m. I just had to leave a voicemail for the Greenville Group at 1:45 because throughout the entire morning, late morning, early afternoon, the psycho pig, sex offender trash, who they continue to permit to access the vacant, unrented premises of the bathroom of 78 behind this wall, and who they're also choosing to house in Unit 76 directly below my bed. Those 2 sex offender psycho pigs have been making violent slamming and banging noises directly below this bed and directly against that wall right there each time I've tried to go into my bathroom to use it over the last 8.5 hours. Started happening at 6 o'clock in the morning. The violent psycho thug directly below 76 started hitting the area below my bed with some kind of a broomstick or blunt object at the same time as the sex offender psycho trash. I'm assuming it's Irizarry, who keeps accessing the vacant premises of her former bathroom directly behind this wall, started smacking the wall directly behind my kitchen sink at 6 o'clock this morning as soon as I started waking up. That is not a coincidence. And there have been multiple episodes of deliberate, concurrent, violent slamming and banging directly below in 76 and directly behind that wall in 78 at the same time, each time throughout the morning and early afternoon that I've tried to use my bathroom. These are mentally disturbed, rejected, hideous, sex offender, psycho scum who can't stay in their own lane and think that because I happen to live in their building and they have a thing for women, that I owe them something. They can also obviously have knowledge of what I do in the privacy of this living space because, again, every time I literally sit up in my bed without an alarm, try to quietly go into my bathroom, these reject psycho pigs start becoming violent and aggressive directly against the floor below this unit and against the wall behind that sink at the same exact time, at the exact moment that I happen to try to use my bathroom. Not a coincidence, folks. People who don't understand statistics should stay the hell off of my channel and go jump off a bridge, because statistics are the one way that you can always tell whether or not something is occurring by chance or by deliberate pattern. Stupid rejects.